Hello, I welcome you all in the video number 3 on the topic pharmaceuticals. So in the previous video number 2 we have discussed the synthesis of 4 drugs. Now in this video we are going to discuss the synthesis of some drugs and the sulfa drugs. That is the new point. So let us begin with the synthesis number 5, synthesis of phenobarbital. Synthesis of phenobarbital, which is also called as phenobarbital. So let me zoom this one. So synthesis of phenobarbital involves condensation, hydrolysis followed by esterification and treatment with sodium ethyl bromide and again condensation. So these are the different basic steps that are followed in the synthesis of phenobarbital. Now let us begin with the synthesis of phenobarbital. The starting compound used in the synthesis of phenobarbital is diethyl carbonate, C2H5O, C double bond O, OC2H5 plus benzyl cyanide. So this benzyl cyanide consists of one acidic hydrogen, which is shown by red circle. Now during this during the condensation of these two compounds, OC2H5, which is circled by red pen from diethyl carbonate, and H from benzyl cyanide eliminates in the form of ethyl alcohol molecule, that is C2H5OH minus C2H5OH, where we obtain compound number 1. Now this compound 1 consists of CN, that is the cyanide group, which is shown by red circle. Now this compound number 1 on reaction with H2SO4, that is a acid hydrolysis reaction, is carried out in first step, where this CN get oxidized to COOH. Cyanide group is hydrolyzed to acid group, that is the COOH group. So in the second step, that is with reaction with C2H5OH in presence of hydrochloric acid. So this is called as esterification step. Now after esterification, the COOH group is converted into COOC2H5O, and we are getting compound number 2. Now again this compound 2 consists of one acidic hydrogen, which is shown by a red circle. So why this hydrogen is acidic one, or why we can remove this hydrogen in the form of H plus ion? Because it is linked to carbon, which is flanked between two carbonyl groups, two C double bond O groups. So these two carbonyl groups creates a strong negative inductive effect. As a result, this hydrogen, which is shown in a red circle, becomes acidic, means we can remove this hydrogen in the form of H plus ion by using base. So here we are using sodium for the removal of H plus ion. So after removal of H plus ion, the place will be occupied by Na, sodium. So at the place of hydrogen, Na will be there. Then in the second step, that sodium compound will be treated with ethyl bromide, that is C2H5Br, where we obtain compound number 3, in which Na get replaced by C2H5. So we are getting compound number 3. So this compound number 3 on condensation with urea, NH2CONH2, compound number 3 on condensation with area eliminates 2 molecules of ethanol. So 2 hydrogens from 2 NH2 groups of urea and 2 C2H5O groups from compound number 3 eliminates in the form of 2 molecules of ethanol, that is minus 2C2H5OH, and we are getting this phenobarbitone, the expected product. So this is how we can synthesize phenobarbitone from diethyl carbonate and benzyl cyanide. So in this synthesis you will find very basic reactions are carried out. For example, hydrolysis, then esterification, then removal of hydrogen in the form of H plus ion, then alkylation reaction, and lastly the condensation with the urea. So after discussing the synthesis of phenobarbitone, so what are the uses of this phenobarbitone? The first use of phenobarbitone is it is a potent hypnotic. It is used as hypnotic drug. Second, it is effective to epileptic seizures. ज्याला मराठीमध्ये आपण म्हणतो झटके येणे, या प्रकारामध्ये हा फेनोबार्बिटोन ड्रग जो आहे तो यूज केला जातो. थर्ड, इट इज यूजफुल इन जनरल कन्वल्शन्स इन children. So these are the different uses of the phenobarbitone. Now the next drug, synthesis of chloramphenicol, which is also called as chloromycetin. So it is an antibiotic and its synthesis involves many steps. So it is a multi-step synthesis, and you should remember each and every step as far as the MCQs are considered. Now let's begin with the first step, that is the reaction of para-nitroacetophenone with bromine. In short, it is called as bromination reaction, as we are using bromine as a reagent. So the starting compound used for chloromycetin synthesis is para-nitroacetophenone. Now this para-nitroacetophenone on bromination eliminates one HBr molecule, minus HBr, and there is formation of this bromo derivative of acetophenone, nitroacetophenone. Now this on reaction with urotropin, that is CH2 6 times N4, followed by esterification, we get the amino compound. So that COCH2Br is ultimately converted into NH2. Now this compound on reaction with acetic anhydride, CH3CO twice O, so that is called as acetic anhydride. So this reagent, acetic anhydride, is used for acetylation. So here one hydrogen from NH2 group get substituted by COCH3 group. So this is called as acetyl group, COCH3 acetyl group, and this reaction is called as acetylation reaction, and it is brought about by using acetic anhydride. So we get the acetylated compound. Now this acetylated compound on a reaction with HCHO in presence of aqueous Na2CO3. HCHO means formaldehyde and Na2CO3 sodium carbonate. We are getting the compound. Now just I am mentioning the change that is happening with the previous compound. So in acetylated compound, CH2NHCOCH3 group is there, but after reaction with formaldehyde and sodium carbonate, we are getting the product in which one hydrogen from CH2 group is replaced by CH2OH group. So the remaining structure is one and the same. Now this compound on MPV reduction reaction, aluminium tertiary butoxide reagent, is used in MPV reduction reaction. So CH3 twice CHO, 3 times Al, so this is called as aluminium tertiary butoxide. So this is the MPV reduction reaction. So we are getting DL means dextro and levo rotatory mixture. In another words, it is called as a racemic mixture. Now see the change that is occurring, chemical change that is occurring during this MPV reduction reaction. So in the previous compound, C double bond O group is there, ketone group is there. So that ketone group get reduced to the CHOH, that is a secondary alcoholic group. Now this DL mixture, that is racemic mixture, is hydrolyzed, where we obtain, just a minute, where we obtain again the racemic mixture, and see the chemical change that is occurring during this hydrolysis reaction. NHCOCH3 is converted into NH2 group. So remaining structure is one and the same. So NHCOCH3 get hydrolyzed to primary amino group, that is NH2 group. Now this compound, this racemic mixture is resolved, which is called as resolution. So after resolution, what is meant by resolution? We have to separate dextroisomer and levoisomer from the DL mixture. So this is called as resolution step. Now after resolving the DL mixture, the L variety levorotatory compound or isomer is treated with CHCl2COOCH3 dichloromethyl acetate. So we are getting the levorotatory chloromycetin. Now see the change that is occurring. NH2 group from the previous compound, NH2 group from the previous compound, the hydrogen from the NH2 group of the previous compound get substituted by COCHCl2. So NH2 becomes NHCOCHCl2, and this is nothing but the chloromycetin. Now it is its another name is chloramphenicol. So it is used, the important use of this chloramphenicol or chloromycetin minus chloromycetin, remember this is very important. So it is an antibiotic and used to cure typhoid. Many times MCQ has been asked on this point. The drug which is used to cure typhoid is dash dash. So you should remember that is nothing but the minus chloromycetin. So that is about the synthesis of chloromycetin, which is a multi-step synthesis. Now let's see the last point from this topic, and that is nothing but the sulfa drugs. So the name itself indicates the presence of sulfur in these drugs. So sulfa drugs were wonder drugs before penicillin and still used today. Secondly, they were the first chemical substances systematically used to treat and prevent bacterial infections in human beings. Sulfonamide is the functional group. Now R dash S double bond O NR2R3 forms the basis of several drugs, including sulfa drugs. So this unit, the unit which is shown by red ink, is present in sulfa drugs. So the examples of sulfa drugs: Bactrim, Septra, Aerosol, etc. Now the important point of these sulfa drugs is mechanism of action of sulfa drugs. How the sulfa drugs act on the bacteria. So sulfa drugs inhibit the growth of bacteria by interfering their metabolism. So whatever is the metabolism occurring in the bacteria, that metabolism is interfered by sulfa drugs. Now how this metabolism is interfered or disturbed? For that we should know some basic part about the metabolism occurring in the bacteria. So folic acid is the important constituent. Folic acid is the important constituent required for bacterial growth, which subsequently used for DNA synthesis in bacteria. So whatever DNA synthesis occurs in bacteria, that requires folic acid. So folic acid is the important component which is required for the bacterial growth and which ultimately used for the DNA synthesis in bacteria. Now the normal way of synthesizing folic acid. So folic acid is the required component for bacteria. So how it is synthesized in bacteria? So pteridine plus PABA. Pteridine plus PABA, that is para amino benzoic acid. It forms a pteridine PABA complex, and this pteridine PABA complex on reaction with glutamic acid forms folic acid. So this is the simple way or the normal way for the formation of folic acid. Pteridine plus PABA, para-amino benzoic acid, it forms pteridine PABA complex, which on reaction with glutamic acid forms folic acid. Now here sulfa drugs resembles to PABA. So what is the role of sulfa drugs here? So suppose such bacteria are there in our body and they are the disease causing microorganisms. Because of them the person is suffering from disease. Now in such a case, if we give sulfa drugs to the person, then the bacteria are not able to differentiate between sulfa drugs and PABA. The structure of PABA and sulfa drugs cannot be differentiated by bacteria. So whatever reaction we have seen earlier, that is pteridine plus PABA, it forms the complex which on reaction with glutamic acid forms the essential component folic acid, which is useful in DNA synthesis of bacteria. So when we give sulfa drug to the person suffering from disease caused by bacteria, the bacteria consumes sulfa drugs supposing that it is a PABA, that is para amino benzoic acid, and because of this the metabolism of bacteria get disturbed. When sulfa drugs are administered to such patient or such person, bacteria can't differentiate it from PABA. So that is the situation. Bacteria are not able to differentiate sulfur drugs from PABA. Sulfur drugs are not useful for bacteria, but sulfur drugs and PABA is useful for bacteria. But here sulfur drugs and PABA, they are looking similar, and because of this the bacteria take sulfur drugs by considering it as a PABA, and that disturbs their metabolism, and there will not be synthesis of folic acid. As there is no synthesis of folic acid, DNA synthesis will get affected in bacteria, and this is how the growth of the bacteria is inhibited. So that is the mechanism of the sulfur drugs. Thus they consume, here it is written, bacteria consume sulfur drugs. As a result, following reactions takes place which does not result in the formation of folic acid. No folic acid formation, no synthesis of DNA. As a result, the growth of the bacteria will get diminished. So pteridine plus sulfur drug. In earlier reaction, the pteridine reacts with PABA, but when the bacteria consumes a sulfur drug, then the pteridine will react with that sulfur drug, and there is formation of pteridine sulfur drug complex, and on reaction with glutamic acid we will not get folic acid. That bacteria will not get folic acid, and as there is no formation of folic acid, DNA will not be synthesized in the bacteria, means ultimately there will not be the growth of the bacteria will get affected or get inhibited, and this is how we can control the disease, we can control the growth of bacteria, and hence the disease which is caused due to the bacteria. So the uses of sulfur drugs are to inhibit growth of bacteria that causes diseases. Growth inhibition occur by inhibiting the synthesis of DNA, that is nucleic acid. So this is about the sulfur drugs and the mechanism of action of sulfur drugs. So that is the end of this topic, pharmaceuticals, in which we have discussed the introduction of the pharmaceuticals, then classification of drugs, then qualities of ideal drugs, then synthesis and uses of some drugs, and lastly the sulfur drugs and the mechanism of action of sulfur drugs. So if you have any difficulties or doubts, you can ask me. Thank you very much.